What's up, guys? This is vlog number, I believe, 22, and I don't necessarily have any strong topics in mind, but I'm due up for a vlog. The Gecko Pod we put an episode 2 weeks ago, but AJ had his baby last week, and we weren't able to put out another one this past week, and so today is Saturday when I'm recording this right now, and I figure I can put out a little bit of content out on the interwebs. I'm just putting these deli cups away. I have doing some chores, and we'll chat a little bit. I have some 8-ounce rounds in here, 12-ounce rounds, 16-ounce rounds, 12-ounce squares, and then I have these 32-ounce squares as well. So anytime I pack my boxes, my boxes to ship, then I pull this down and grab my cups and label them. So let me show you. This one, I packed a bunch of boxes today, and the reason why I do it so early, so it's Saturday, right? And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 6 or 7 shipping out on Monday, and packing boxes is actually takes me a lot longer than I thought it would, after doing it for a little while now. But every time I'm like, I'll do it later, and then it catches up to me. And so anyway, you could pre-build these boxes. I have a couple 776s going. Write in your species and quantity. So I do this beforehand. Build the box. They all come flat packed. And then I also put my animals to the side that I'm going to ship out, like in a specific rack right over here. And I've started to pack and choose the correct size deli cups. And, I put a little paper towel in there, and then I label it ahead of time. At least I'm trying to be better. This time I did it a little bit better. Oops, here we go. So I do that, and then so I got my little phase pack. I got this from TSK. It's not quite a cryo pack, but it acts as a phase pack. I think these are better than the coconut gels. I can't say for certain, mainly because I haven't done like testing on these, but it does feel like it firms up a little bit better and liquidates a little bit better than the coconut oil. So coconut oil doesn't regulate as well, but that's what it feels like. But again, I'm sure the people that sell them, like Pangea and Redline, I'm sure they did the research, right? And so, but you can get those Redline or Pangea ones. They're the same thing. It's a coconut oil. You can get those for maybe, I think if you buy a pack or box of them, it's like $4 or a little bit less per unit. If you buy the cryo pack brand, the phase pack, the phase 22, then those things are like $6.50 a piece, which is really expensive. And you can't really buy those in bulk. And then Reptiles by Mac was selling they sold the phase packs as well, not the cryo pack brand, but it was called Adaptec. And they've been out of stock for a while, so I guess everyone's been buying them up. And so now this is kind of like the go-to, because TSK carries this, and it's called a PCM 23 gel. So 23, I'm guessing the number is the Celsius when it starts to phase out. It says PCM 23 gel changes from solid to gel at 73.4 degrees Fahrenheit. So in here it's 80, and it's definitely liquidy. So anyway, that's what I've been using for phase packs. I put them all, so I buy a pack of 50 at a time, and I just have to keep reloading. So I just put them in here. This is kind of my ship station in this little rack over here. I load up all my cryo packs. My deli cups are up here. My boxes are here, although I have a lot more boxes right outside of this room behind the front door over here. I just have like boxes and boxes over there of shipping supplies. So I bought a lot of ice packs as well. So anyway, I got my boxes packed for Monday, so I don't have to rush on Monday, because Monday I do palm treat shows as well. So, and the last couple weeks at least, no, over the last couple weeks, And then, I was gone for 2 weeks. I went on vacation with the family to Taiwan. And then the month before that, I've just been going really long on Mondays, and I'm just so tired. So it's basically a full work day on Monday from when I wake up all the way until end of the show, and even beyond that, And so it's a little bit much. It's my own fault, I got to pace myself a little bit better, but that's what we're doing right now. So I just to be a little bit more efficient with our stuff. So anyway, I put the boxes in. So I literally have, as soon as Monday rolls around, I schedule my pickups for 3 p.m. in the afternoon. So FedEx comes to pick up my packages, and so I don't have to drive to the hub. So I schedule my my pickups, and then I wrap this all up in kind of the packaging paper, put my animal in, and then seal it up, and away we go. I just leave it out at the front door. So I have these pre-built already, pretty much all the way through, except for the packaging paper that I wrap the deli cups in, and then I just seal it up, and we're good for Monday, I think. So I have 2 776s, 2 887s, 2 11 and I might have a couple more that I haven't built yet, but I'm still coordinating with a couple people that may or may not ship this week. So this week is a little bit hot though. Memphis is going to be highs of like 90, 92, 93. And some people would be like, oh, you can't ship in that weather. But I think you can, as long as you ice pack it well and there's enough of a buffer in your box to kind of sort things out so you're not freezing your animal. The ice pack's not right next to it. But I think it's doable. I mean, even the Reptile Basic box literally tells you some instructions right here, right? And these guys have been shipping for a long time. Below 40, don't ship. Wait for warmer weather. 40 to 69, use a heat pack per our directions. 70 to 79, do not use a heat pack or cold pack. 80 to 89, use a cold pack per our directions. 90 to 95, ship to a FedEx ship center facility. Over 95, don't ship. Wait for cooler weather. Right. So we're kind of like borderline right there. I think another box is something different. Oh, see, look. So I guess maybe Reptile Basics is like, they're not necessarily contradicting themselves, but maybe they have an updated box. This one is, see, this is so that was a 887. This one is a 1296. Yes, this one's a 1296, and then the temps are a little bit different on this, so I don't know if that makes it a difference in terms of just packing a big box. It shouldn't. It says below 38, don't ship. See, so they're broadening up the ranges. 38 to 69, use a heat pack. 70 to 91, do not use a heat pack. 92 to 100, ship to a FedEx ship center facility. Over 100, don't ship. So this is Reptile Basic, right? They're a professional and expert shippers. They sell the shipping supplies, and Redline uses them to drop ship. And so that's what the box is, right? So as long as you know how to pack well, I think you can pack under 100. If it's not 100 degrees, you can pack it well. Just you have to have a big enough box so you could load it up with like ice or something. So that's what I'm doing. I'm the California stuff out and the PNW, the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Oregon stuff that I'm shipping to. Yeah, that's no problem. We're all like in the low 70s, so I can ship those no problem, and it doesn't go through Memphis. It just goes to Oakland. But I bought a bunch of these Uline cold packs, and AJ recommended these, so I'm copying him on these. These are the Uline cold packs that we're using for shipments. I also use these ice packs as well. Like these ones are really cheap, and I just cut them up. I cut them up into squares of 2 at a time, and then you just throw them in water. They bulk up because of the gel, and then I put them in the freezer for a few hours, and use that as my ice packs. But so I'm doing both basically. Excuse me, gosh. Sorry, you guys, I hear me clear my throat all the time. but I'm using both. So I'm gonna try different variations of shipping in during summertime, summer months, the hotter weathers. So that's that. I've been doing that, and yeah, it's been update on Palm Street and kind of the sales there. It's been moving. I think prices. We've said this before. I've said this before. The prices are there's kind of like this palm price. Like certain things just can't go. Don't really sell over a certain amount on palm. And so it's one of those things where you just have to have self-control. And, I kind of teeter between those lines of sometimes I'm like, it's easy to dump, like you get kind of this desperate palm sale, when you're kind of in your show, things aren't moving, and then you start to lower prices, right? And I've done that. Several times, and including this last couple weeks. Like I sold a lot of animals, but a lot of things sold too cheap. And I think it kind of skews people's understanding of the market, and then eventually it becomes self-fulfilling prophecy where it becomes the market, right? So I do understand that wholesaling stuff, wholesalers and just dumping prices on morphs, I think it is actually pretty dangerous. But I'm not innocent of that completely. I got a pack of RCK Dawn animals as well as some Sanha stuff from Korea, and yeah, those are things that I'm growing out. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry about the throat clearing. It's really annoying for me, and it must be worse for you because my mic is right here. But yeah, I've been selling some caps and fraps, and it sucks. I think it sucks in the sense that I wish that some of these things would obviously sell for more, and I try my best to hold the line for certain things, and in general I think I'm okay. But I'm sure some of you guys have seen also some cheap stuff that have gone. Like sometimes we'll accidentally dollar start something, not accidentally, but you dollar start not thinking that it's gonna go for so cheap, and then it does, and then you're like, oh shoot, man, like I can't keep doing these dollar starts. Or even if you 100 start something, you're like, hey, let me 100 start this cap, thinking it'll go to 200, and then it goes to like 150 or something, and then like, oh shoot, I can't do that anymore. So I think there are certain things that we're still trying to learn and figure out. At least I am, but some things will still sell for a pretty okay price. I sold some like subadult females for 400, 500. Some fraps sold for 500 plus. Some for a little bit cheaper. So it's there, it's there for quality for sure. But also it's dangerous for some of the buyers that are a little bit more budget friendly. And there's nothing wrong with those buyers. It's more of like the sellers that we need to be a little bit more careful of our pricing and stuff. And just because we're trying to protect the market, but also we need to make our sales as well, So it's that balance of trying to take care of the community, but also we need to move things. So, to some degree, I do think that, like I would say maybe a lot of breeders and sellers will lower prices significantly at shows. We just don't see it, right? If you're vending a local show and you're like, all right, I got to get rid of all these like males, right? You just dump them for $50 a piece, and it happens, and you just get away with it a little bit more because, the entire internet isn't seeing. But in Palm Street, it's visible to everybody. So you can see the wholesalers do this. You can see me do this sometimes. What the hell is this? And you can see other people doing it. And yeah, it's not always a great thing. But anyway, I do think that I bring that up mainly to say that I'm trying to be mindful of it. And there will always be dollar starts that are going to be cheaper, just to kind of get things moving. but I think that shouldn't be like my entire night or anybody's entire night. It shouldn't just be like, oh, wholesale $5 start, dollar start, like we should try to like vary it up a little bit. And anyway, that's just my preference. Obviously, you can do whatever you want. I'm not here to run other people's businesses. I'm just here to run mine. But just rambling, ramble blog, frustrations for my own stuff, frustrations for other people's stuff, and all I can do is just try to adjust to what I can adjust to. But yeah, I do like Palm, selling on Palm. Somebody asked if I like selling on Palm, and I would say yes, I think so. And the main reason is because you get to interact with so many people. Essentially, it's a live Q&A, like a podcast live Q&A. You don't see them on their end, but you see their screen names, you see their questions, and people are very engaging. Last Monday, I did a show for... My show is 9 hours. I looked it up. 9 hours and 20 minutes, which is crazy. The week before that was 8 hours and like 47 minutes. Week before that was 7 hours, like 58 minutes. And then same as, before I went on vacation, same as the last 2 or 3 weeks was just really long shows. And I don't necessarily like doing long shows like that because it really wrecks me the next day. But, also if the chats are engaging and, if things are moving and selling and people are wanting stuff to buy stuff, then, you just keep going. I think I just got to cut it, So anyway, this past 2 weeks, I added an extra show in Thursday or Fridays morning. It doesn't have to be. It's just a random day that I chose, one that doesn't look cluttered, and I'll just do it like 10 a.m., 11 a.m. Cali time. And so far I've been enjoying those. It's been fun. I still got a good crowd coming out, even though Palm was broken at times, and my notifications didn't go out, and the chat the sales functions weren't working, and I think they were just having a major web update or something, and so things weren't working. But anyway, yeah, I think the daytime shows were still pretty fun. Still moved a lot of stuff. People got animals. I'm just I gotta do feeding today. So normally I feed on Mondays, but last Monday, like this, because my show went for 9 hours, 20 minutes, I didn't sleep till 4 a.m. I got off my show it went from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. It went to 2 a.m., a little bit over 2 a.m. And then, obviously I didn't eat dinner. So I just, after the show, then I was eating dinner at 2:30 a.m. and I didn't sleep till 4, and it just really messed me up. I didn't get to feed my animals on Monday, and so it kind of messed up my schedule. So I shifted a day back. I shifted my cricket feeding a day back, and I cut out one extra cricket feeding. But now it's Saturday. Normally I feed on Fridays, and now I'm feeding diet on Saturday. So that's why I'm here. But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like business and stuff, I do think that Palm was a big jump off point for a lot of people. It's where, they can consistently sell and move things, even if it's a little bit cheaper or a lot of bit cheaper. And so I think it's a good thing overall. There's always a lot to complain about when it comes to where you sell at, how you sell, the prices you sell at, the market that it's affecting. And I agree with those things. I'm not saying that, Palm itself is just a venue. It's just a place for us to sell things. The problem is, like, it's us. We are the problem. We see each other lower prices, and I think that's what messes messes with people's minds and expectations of new buyers thinking that everything's cheaper, and yeah, I mean, I say I don't know what to do, but we know what to do. We just don't do it. Like you can't go around telling everybody like, like wholesalers or whomever, like not just wholesalers, even myself, like you guys gotta stop lowering your prices on this, and yeah, nobody really does that anymore. We'll complain passively, but yeah, we don't call each other out. If they do, it's just in secret private chats, So so yeah, I mean, it's our own doing. It's not Palm's fault. We can like crap on Palm if you want, but it's Palm has helped a lot of people. We'll just say that. And you can't hate on that, You really can't. You just gave us a platform to sell stuff on. But if you want to take care of the market, then we take care of the market. So is it possible that Palm could have like trickled people a little bit slower? Of course, right? And but I don't think that that's their. Basically, they don't care. They don't care about our market. And I say that very confidently because they don't care. You can see what they're doing. You can see how they're just bringing people on willy-nilly, saying there's certain criteria to the thing, and there isn't really. There's like, and I know this because there's like several new breeders, even to cresteds. They just started buying animals, and then they got approved to sell. And so I'm like, okay, it's not their fault, It's just Palm doesn't know that market, doesn't know that space, and so you can't necessarily blame them because they're just trying to hit their numbers, their metrics, their followers, their sellers, their sales, and they're just literally following stats. They don't care about the market like we do, at least, So just something to be mindful of, It's as we kind of navigate this new space. I don't necessarily know if we can get worked up over it. I think it's just the way how things work. It's like we can't change it. It's just gonna be here. And there's going to be others too. I'm sure there's going to be other Palm-like or whatnot-like things, district, other platforms, and that's just how it is. Nothing we can really do. The market is the market, and we just adjust to it as we go. So it's kind of like when Korea started selling stuff to the U.S. via fetal and making it easier for people to buy stuff, to import stuff. Like you can't stop it. You just got to roll with it, basically. So, all that to say, when it comes to business, when it comes to how we approach sales and stuff, like it's very easy to complain. We still, I bring this up all the time. I think we still often see people like leaving the hobby, selling their entire collections, and just really, it can be discouraging, when people leave. But it's always been like that. Every year, people leave and sell out of their collections and move on, and that's okay. But sometimes it can be discouraging because you're like, oh man, more people are leaving, and it's because they couldn't sell things. I think it's because they're unable to sell things. The payout to the work it takes to maintain a gecko business is not worth it for a lot of people, and I get that. It just takes a lot of work, So even for me, I feel like I've done pretty well last year and this year. business wise, and it's it's profitable right now. Not that I made back all of the money that I invested yet, but in terms of the current status of income in versus overhead and things going out, it's it's much better this year. So it's technically profitable. But yeah, it just took a really long time to get here for me. So I think, this being a new breeder kind of vlog for new breeders, I'm just essentially what you see of me is just that you're seeing kind of like I'm just slightly ahead of you guys. I'm four breeding seasons in, and a lot of people are either like around the same time as me, or a lot of new breeders are a little bit behind me in terms of their progress. Even if you've been in the hobby a long time, some people have said like, oh, I kept the cresteds like many years ago. But what I'm talking about is as breeders, as us trying to side hustle and build a business. I think there's actually a lot of people that's maybe 2 years in, 3 years in. And so for me, I kind of share kind of my experience so that you can see just a little bit ahead of where you may end up or might not. And when I think about it, when I think about people trying to build a business, like a legit business, whether it's like full-time or, like almost full-time, slightly part-time maybe, it's it's very difficult. When I think about it, I think about like, wow, like to get to the level of sales and things like where I'm at, I think a majority of people can't do it, right? And I'm not saying you can't technically do it. You can. It's just the payout for the first few years is very, it's very low to kind of the amount of work you have to put in. So it's just one of those things where you just really have to stick it out. Like you really have to love the animals. You really have to love the community. And you can't just see it strictly as a job. If you see it strictly as a job and you don't really like doing like cleaning and feeding like hours on end every week, then it's going to be very difficult to press forward and get to this level where you have a steady flow of your own animal productions, and you're able to manage your finances in a way where you minimize your expenses and you maximize your income. It's a very long process to get there, at least depending on how if you wanted this to be full-time and if you want this to support your family, it's very difficult. So I'm at a place now where I feel like it's possible, right? Like I see that it's quite possible to support a family on this income. And so what, a lot of people, we don't talk numbers because everybody is that's kind of like a taboo thing. You don't tell people how much you make, but my goal has always been like, okay, $1,000 a week, whatever, that's $52K a year. And that's not very much at all, right? But you can survive on that. You'll have to scrap a lot, but you definitely need a dual income. So your wife or your husband needs to work as well, or you yourself need to work a separate job, especially if you have a family. If you're a single person living in an apartment, and actually I don't even know if you keep so many animals in an apartment, but let's just imagine your bills are very low. You're just a single person and you don't have a family to support. You can totally do it. Like it's doable if you stick it out long enough. And if you kind of navigate the community and you build your brand, it's doable. But to support a family, probably not. yeah, yeah. The probabilities to get to that point is just a lot harder. So, yeah. So anyway, I was just thinking about business, and everything I'm doing right now is one, supporting my family and building out this business even further, but also it's to funnel uh, my funds into my other business, which I've talked about a few times now, whether on the vlog or whether on the podcast, the Gecko Pod, or whether on Palm. I've been slowly talking about it a little bit more now. Now that I'm a little bit closer to launch, I'm funneling everything towards the shipping, my shipping business, the shipping platform. So I'm pretty excited about that. I haven't announced anything when it comes to, my socials, besides this, but I haven't announced it on IG or like, oh, follow me here. And so I haven't mentioned the name of it because I don't want people to look for it yet. So I'm staying, like moderately low key right now until I have the platform built out. I have it kind of dialed in. So right now it's close, but there are still certain tweaks I still got to do in terms of the functionalities, scheduling pickups, making sure the discounts are there, and making sure I have the proper rates and the proper services. I'm trying to have the user dashboard be kind of built out in a way where, you'll like using it. So I think about it from a perspective of a user because I ship so much myself, and there's certain pain points. So I'm trying to build it in a way where, you have your user dashboard and you can see all your orders, just like a lot of other platforms, But I'm trying to make it in a way where it's cleaner and smoother, and so this is where I'm going to need people's feedback. So even though it's near launch, it's like we just started summer, and shipping is going to be slower during the summer because of all the heat and stuff. But I wish that I could have launched it at the beginning of the year, to kind of like capitalize on all that spring shipping. But here we are, and I can't complain. I'm just thankful that it's still in the works. So once it launches, it's going to be in the summer, and I guess it'll allow me more time to intake new customers, kind of feel things out, get feedback, and kind of build out various features a little bit better. And then so once the cooler weather hits again during the fall, then we can hit it a little bit harder. But those are things I'm kind of thinking through and figuring out. And right now, I don't know the volume of what's about to come. Maybe it could be nothing. Like maybe it's just like a handful of users are going to be on there, and I'm okay with that. At least for now, I do see that there's a potential to be like pretty sizable. I wouldn't say morph market sizable. Like I don't have the resources like they do, and but yeah, I think it'll be good. I think just give it a couple years, and I think it could be built out to be a pretty strong competitor within that space. So I'm excited. I'm not trying to ruffle feathers. I think I'm just trying to provide more options for people, so it's not just a monopoly within the first couple of shipping businesses. You know how it is. It's just basically kind of like breeders, right? I feel totally comfortable running a business, Zero's Geckos, amongst other big breeders, amongst you guys. My intention is not to put other people down. It's to build up myself and provide as much education and as much help and resources and as possible, to the community in general. So this is why I have the vlogs, and this is why we have the Gecko Pod, and this is why on my live palm streets, I literally go through as many chats and questions as possible, because I'm trying to engage in a way that really shows the community that I actually care, which I do. Why would I spend 9.5 hours selling a few things and then the rest of the time just talking and chatting when I could be spending it with my family? There's a reason for those things. It's because I actually care about the community. I care about not just building my own brand, but I care about providing as much value to people as possible. So I'm not, I'm not scared to come into the space at all when it comes to the shipping stuff. And I hope that, everyone can just get along. And I don't think people work together, to be honest. I think if anything, people like shade each other. But I'm thankful that I'm not involved. I don't know any of those guys. I mean, besides Robin, we interviewed him on the Gecko pod, but I don't have a relationship with him at all. Like I think I tried messaging once and he's just too busy. He didn't message back. So he doesn't know me. I don't know him. We don't know each other on that level at all. So, and Darian, I've never spoken with. And the SYR guys, Debbie. I mean, we all know Debbie because everyone talks to Debbie, but I think she retired, right? She retired, and then I think Gans still owns it. I don't know who took over Debbie's spot. I'm not sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But yeah. Other people have shipping businesses too. Shipping Reptiles, Reptile Express. Other platforms that aren't as popular. It's there. So anyway, I'm trying to show that, I mean, I've been in this space, and have I been in it as long as some of these guys? No. Robin and those guys have been in the space for decades, right? And they're very well versed with kind of the space and how to navigate it, and different breeders and stuff. And what I'm good at is shipping crested geckos. I'm very comfortable and confident in shipping crested geckos, but I don't know everything. I'm not as familiar with snakes. I'm not as familiar with other reptile species. I'm not as familiar with amphibians, aquatics. Those are all things I'm trying to learn and figure out still. So eventually I'm going to reach out to, I'm trying to break into the space to just get to know people a little bit more, even outside of crested geckos, geckos in general. And so I can, kind of learn their shipping practices, learn their pain points. And, bottom line is a lot of it is the shipping boxes, the shipping supplies, educating people on how and when to ship. And a lot of those things, it's pretty general knowledge, but obviously, like shipping crested geckos, the nuances of crested geckos, there's nuances within every single species. So those are things I'm trying to learn. Like I don't know how to ship aquatics. Like I looked up YouTube videos. I've never shipped a snake. And I think those are things I'm trying to learn and figure out. But the bottom line is the shipping platform is going to provide labels. That's the main thing, right? We're providing a service of selling labels as a third-party seller of FedEx, an animal shipper approved. And I think the service will be there, the supplies will be there. I'll be connecting with a major reptile supplier. So we're in talks, trying to figure things out, how to connect our our stuff and kind of the process with that. So I'm excited for that. But they'll come in stages. I don't know if I'll have that set up by the time of launch, but probably soon after when it comes to the shipping supplies. But yeah, I think I'm excited. I think the gecko business has been doing well, and I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful for people that have supported the brand Zero's Geckos and the Gecko Pod, and I feel very thankful and very grateful that people would trust me with buying animals from me, and appreciating the quality of the animals, so I'm thankful. Yeah, I'm definitely thankful. I don't take any of this stuff for granted. So, but yeah, I'm trying to continue to build up the business, and then as the shipping stuff ramps, I will be trying to figure out that time spent between the two. So, I have the shipping team is just myself and another person who is, not a reptile person, but is, essentially her expertise is logistics and customer management, as she's worked in that space when it comes to retail for a number of years, and she's very good at that. So she'll be helping me with a lot of the logistical stuff and those issues and the customer management and care. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm just gonna be a small team, and just gonna be a small team trying to figure it out and scrap. No, no VCs, no extra funding. It's just me bootstrapping, funneling whatever I'm making from the Zero's Geckos and funneling it to the shipping right now, and just really fortifying it, building out the platform. So I'm excited for it. We'll see what happens. I think it'll be good, and so hopefully it'll be received well, and people who are loyal to those other shipping companies, yeah, that's totally cool. I'm not trying to take other people's business. I'm trying to bring more people into new shippers. We still have a lot of breeders that have never shipped before. People ask me questions very often like, hey, how do I ship this? I'll send them videos, but hopefully the platform and the website will have some of those educational resources so that people can take things step by step. We'll learn various aspects of what to ship, what they need, and we'll be able to provide that. So we'll be able to provide the shipping supplies, the education on how to ship it, provide the labels, shipping within certain parameters, making sure that, even if we don't have insurance yet, I think, insurance available yet to offer yet, I really don't think it's necessary. As long as people know what to expect in terms of there will be delays. FedEx, there's unforeseen delays, and we can't help those things. Just expect it and kind of teach your buyers that it's possible that there will be delays, but I'm going to pack it well. And even if the weather is like a little bit sketch, I'm going to pack it so well that it should be okay. So the animals are actually very hardy. Reptiles are actually very hardy. Heat is what kills it. Dehydration is what kills it. So always skew a little bit colder. So I'm okay with extra ice packs. I'm okay with, even if we're shipping in hot temps, like Memphis is in the 90s this coming week, and I'm still comfortable with shipping, as long as you know what you're doing. And so I hope to educate a lot of new shippers and bring new shippers into this process as well. So yeah, rather than just like taking and stealing customers, yeah, I plan to educate and bring more people into the shipping world. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I'm probably just talking on my ass and I don't know what I'm talking about, but one thing about me is that I will just keep going and learning until I get there, and I'm excited about that. I mean, that's essentially what Zero's Gecko has become. It's just scrapping, figuring things out, learning, doing the Gecko pod, and learning from other people, and learning from AJ, who's been amazing, who has helped guided me through a lot of my business as well. And so it's a testament that if you just stick it out long enough, if you learn from others, you stay humble, you will get to a place where you need to go. But resilience, humility, and just a hunger to learn and want to grow, I think it's and not just for yourself, but to give back to others as well. I think those are things that will take you far. For me, it's a lot of business and a lot of whatever I'm doing. I don't see anything in vain. I see everything as a learning process. And whether I'm in this hobby still, or in another hobby eventually, or in completely outside of these hobbies and back into whatever job I've been in, I think there are so many skills to develop and learn and grow that's what excites me a lot, is just being able to grow as a person. And I think it's good. I think it's good. Still a lot to learn. There's still a lot of things that I don't see about myself in terms of how I can be better at business, but I'm learning. So Yep, a little bit of being naive is helpful, at least for me. Just go in, figure it out. Might ruffle some feathers, but you're not trying to hurt anybody. You're just trying to figure it out as you go. And so, and if you make mistakes, then you adjust, and you'll be okay. So cool. 45 minute ramble. I think that was good. I don't know if it was good. Hopefully it was somewhat helpful. I know these are topics I've talked about before and it might be redundant, but yeah, I think hopefully that helps bring a little bit more clarity with kind of at least an update with where I'm at. Hopefully in a month's time, maybe even by the next vlog, we'll have the platform launched, the shipping platform launched, and yeah, I'm here to kind of learn and grow with you guys. So yep, thank you guys. You guys can find me on here, the vlog. You can subscribe if it's helpful. There's the Gecko Pod. Subscribe to the Gecko Pod. Hopefully it's not too long before we can put out another one. I think AJ, I'm not even gonna ask him when he's ready, because I just want to give him that space and respect his time, and when he's ready, he's ready, and hopefully we have a Gecko Pod sometime in the near future. But in the meantime, I'll do these vlogs. Palm Street, always live Monday, and now I added another week, another show that I'm trying during the day, either Thursday or Fridays. So just keep an eye on that. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys later. Bye.